Welcome to the History in Focus channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one. Here we see one of the first prototypes of bulletproof glass being tested in 1931. The glass, made of laminated layers of resistant materials, was designed to withstand the impact of bullets, offering revolutionary protection at the time. Tested in high-pressure situations, the glass proved effective in absorbing the force of projectiles, although it was thicker and heavier than traditional glass. Two men demonstrate the double ender, a pipe designed for two people to use at the same time, in 1949 in New York. The pipe, with opposite ends, allowed both to share the smoking experience simultaneously, but the idea of sharing a pipe in such a strange way ultimately proved completely useless and pointless. In this 1936 photo, in England, we see Hamblin glasses, created to facilitate reading in bed. They had angled lenses that allowed a person to read while lying down, without needing to tilt their head or lift the book. With their unique functionality, Hamblin glasses were one of the many ideas that emerged at the time to make everyday life easier. In this 1953 photo, monopod seats offer a practical and portable way to sit while on the go. With only one leg for support, they allowed users to sit anywhere, like in lines or outdoor events. However, the seat was not stable enough, and many found the experience of sitting on a monopod less comfortable than traditional alternatives. In 1965, teenager Malcolm Pickard created an unusual gadget called the kissometer, designed to measure the voltage of kisses. The device worked like this. The couple held electrodes in their hands, and when they kissed, the intensity of the kiss was measured, with sound effects and an illuminated scale indicating the strength of the moment. Robert L. Stern, president of Zeus Corp., smokes a cigarette with his special rainy day cigarette holder, which he designed himself in 1954. Called the Rainy Day, it was equipped with a mini umbrella at the end that protected the cigarette from rain while the user smoked outdoors. For those who struggle on the dance floor, these Siamese dancing shoes, introduced as a joke in the Better Living catalog in 1981, promised to keep couples in perfect sync. The shoes were joined together, allowing the dancers to share the same footwear, helping them move together in a coordinated manner during ballroom dancing. A robot created to teach golfers to perfect their swing in the 1920s. This mechanical device was designed to demonstrate the correct movement, guiding golfers to replicate the gesture precisely and efficiently. The idea was that by observing and imitating the fluid movement of the robot, players could improve their technique and consistency on the course. In 1963, inventor John H.T. Rinfret demonstrated his anti-mugger handbag, a peculiar invention to frustrate thieves. The idea was simple. When the bag's chain was pulled, the bottom fell out, scattering all its contents on the ground, supposedly making it harder to steal. The intention was to prevent thieves from taking belongings by creating confusion as everything spilled. However, the effectiveness of this invention was questionable since, rather than protecting the items, it made them easier to access. Model Francis Richards smokes an entire pack of cigarettes at once using a long cigarette holder. Cigarette holders, like the one Francis is using, were very popular accessories, especially among women, adding a touch of sophistication to the act of smoking. At that time, cigarettes were widely promoted, and their association with elegance and social status overshadowed health concerns, which were not yet fully understood. Ted Spence, engineer at the Los Angeles Brush Manufacturing Corps, demonstrates his invention, the Fine Brush, specially designed for bald men. The brush fit perfectly to the contour of the head, with soft bristles to brush any remaining hair and a felt pad to gently massage the scalp. Here we see a bicycle designed for the whole family. With 4 seats, it allowed parents and children to ride together, providing a form of group transportation. The most curious detail is that, in addition to being a bicycle, the invention also included an embedded sewing machine for the mother, allowing her to sew while the family moved. Here we see a Colt .38 with an embedded camera that automatically takes pictures when the trigger is pulled. On the left are 6 images captured by this camera at the moment of the shots. This curious invention was registered in New York in 1938. The exact intention behind this combination is unclear, but it is believed to have been for documenting the target and shooting situation. However, the idea did not seem to be widely used and remained a curiosity of the time. In 1963, engineer Alan Stewart brought to life the dream of many by creating his ornithopter, a human-powered flying machine designed to mimic the movement of a bird. The ornithopter, equipped with flapping wings, was an ambitious attempt to allow a person to fly like birds. Although the idea was fascinating, the ornithopter faced technical and control challenges, as powered flight in this manner proved too complex. Here we see the Pramobile, a motorized baby carriage that allowed parents to travel at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour. Equipped with a small engine, the Pramobile offered convenience and speed, making outings with the baby faster and less tiring. Of course, safety concerns prevented this invention from advancing. In the 1960s, electricity was promoted as an alternative to traditional weight loss exercises. The method involved placing pads on various parts of the body, which stimulated the muscles with light electrical currents. The idea was that electricity, by contracting the muscles, would reproduce the effects of a physical workout, helping to tone the body without active effort. The method did not produce lasting results, but similar devices are still on the market today. In the 1920s, a Czech device known as the locator was created by Goertz, using shell-shaped reflectors to direct sounds into large-diameter tubes. The goal was to detect sounds of distant aircraft or other noises, functioning as a primitive attempt at acoustic location before the radar era. When tested at the Dutch Military Research Station in Walsdorp, the device proved innovative but had fundamental deficiencies, such as the inability to handle background noise or complex ambient sounds. A German engineer prepares his bold creation, a bicycle equipped with 12 rockets. The project aimed to use the force of the rockets to propel the bike, but this combination was unsafe. Moments after the photo was taken, the rockets generated uncontrollable force, causing the bike to explode. The structure could not withstand the impact and heat generated, making it highly unstable. Fortunately, the engineer escaped without serious injuries, and the attempt showed just how unfeasible and dangerous the concept was. In 1963, Japan created a curious machine called the cat meow machine. This device emitted cat meows up to 10 times per minute, with glowing eyes accompanying each meow. The goal was to scare off mice and rodents by simulating the presence of a cat. Although creative, the machine was not very effective in practice, since the rodents quickly adapted to the repetitive artificial sound. A soldier holds a Krummlauf, a curious rifle accessory developed in Germany by the Nazis during World War II. The idea behind this invention was to allow soldiers to fire around corners or barriers without exposing themselves directly to the enemy. However, the Krummlauf proved to be ineffective because bullets would shatter as they passed through the curved barrel. For this reason, the invention was produced in small quantities and never used on the battlefield. In this photo, we see a two-horn listening system at Bowling Field, United States in 1921. Developed during war efforts, this device was created to detect the sound of aircraft engines from a distance before the planes could be seen. Engines of the time produced a very distinctive sound, and to improve defense, systems like this were used to capture noises from long distances before the invention of radar. The Morrison shelter was a bed that offered much more than comfort. During World War II, it became essential protection against nighttime air raids. Built with reinforced steel, the shelter was designed to prevent a sleeping person from being crushed in case of a house collapse due to bombings. In 1968, science fiction writer and founder of the Church of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, used his Hubbard electrometer in an attempt to determine whether tomatoes felt pain. During his experiments, Hubbard claimed that the device, originally created to measure human emotional responses, indicated that tomatoes screamed when sliced. Robert Corder floats during a test of his jetpack on June 10, 1969, in Fort Myer, Virginia. Designed to allow individual flight, the jetpack was seen as revolutionary technology capable of changing personal mobility. The device used propulsion jets to lift the pilot off the ground and keep them in the air for short periods, reaching altitudes of up to 197 feet. Despite being exciting, The jetpack faced challenges such as limited flight time and control difficulties. A model tries on a spiral electric bra during the 20th International Inventions Show in Brussels, 1971. The bra was designed with the promise of developing and strengthening the bust through vibrations while the person went about their daily activities. Although it attracted attention at the time, the vibrating bra never gained popularity. In this image, we see a woman using a brush created specifically for washing the back. To make washing easier, the brush had two mirrors fixed at opposite angles, allowing the user to see their back. As we can see, it is easier to use a conventional brush for this simple task than this contraption. In this October 14, 1957 photo, we see the Wonderboy X100, a lawnmower by the Simplicity Company. This vehicle had a plastic sphere where the driver sat on a cushioned seat and could operate the mower via a joystick. Equipped with advanced technology for the time, the lawnmower had its own power generation system, which powered a radio telephone and air conditioning, allowing the operator to enjoy a cold drink while working. In this photo, a nurse uses an ultraviolet lamp to mark a newborn baby's initials on their skin. The idea was to mark babies with their initials in a temporary and safe way, using ultraviolet light to prevent accidental switching of babies in hospitals shortly after birth. Although the intention was valid, there are simpler and safer alternatives such as identification bracelets. In 1963, inventor Alois Merck presented the Magic Hat, promising an innovative solution for baldness. He claimed that by wearing the hat for just 10 minutes a day, anyone would see hair growth in 30 days. The device was marketed as a simple and effective way to combat hair loss, attracting those seeking a quick fix. However, as expected, the new type hat did not work, and the invention was soon dismissed as another miraculous promise that did not deliver what it promised. In 1925, Germany created the one-wheeled motorcycle, a vehicle consisting of a single large wheel with the rider sitting inside it. The motorcycle was powered by an internal engine, allowing the rider to balance and move with the wheels spinning around them. Although it seemed innovative and futuristic, this motorcycle presented several practical challenges, such as difficulty maintaining balance at high speeds and lack of stability. In 1963, Japan created an unusual device, a pair of artificial breasts with embedded heartbeats. The idea behind this invention was to provide comfort to young children at bedtime by imitating the sensation of maternal closeness. The simulated heartbeats were intended to calm children, helping them fall asleep more easily. A car equipped with a large front scoop, designed to reduce the number of pedestrian casualties in case of a collision. The accessory, invented in 1924 in Paris, acted as a barrier to catch pedestrians before they were hit directly by the vehicle. The idea was to prevent serious injuries by cushioning the impact and stopping pedestrians from being run over. In 1929, the laryngophone was created, a phone that eliminated external noise by transmitting only the vibrations of the vocal cords. The device worked when the microphone was placed directly against the user's throat or cheek, picking up only the voice without ambient sound. Although innovative in its goal of clear communication, the laryngophone was humorously described as a tool to annoy both the wife and the lover. In this photo, a young woman demonstrates the dimple maker at the Inventors Congress in Chicago. The idea was that with prolonged use, the pressed holes would become permanent, simulating natural dimples. However, the device proved ineffective, as simply pressing the skin for long periods was not enough to create lasting dimples. In this image, we see a shaving robot in action, a handy automated assistant for shaving. The client, with a face covered in foam, is being shaved by remotely controlled mechanical arms. The arm was adjusted to make only small movements and to stop moving if the operator jerked suddenly, offering greater safety to the client. Here we see the invention of Marn Smith, a 10-year-old child who, in 1964, developed a simple and practical way to avoid neck cramps after tanning. Her creation, called the Sun Chair, was designed to provide proper neck support while a person relaxed in the sun, preventing discomfort throughout the day. With an intelligent and functional design, the chair allowed for comfortable relaxation, eliminating the constant strain on the neck. An officer wears an electrically heated vest in 1932 in the United States. This innovative vest was developed to keep traffic officers warm while working outdoors in extreme cold conditions. The power was supplied by electrical contacts installed directly in the street, connecting the vest to the system. Although ingenious, the vest required officers to stay close to power points, limiting their mobility. In 1961, Goodyear unveiled illuminated tires made of synthetic rubber with internal lights in the rim. Although they were smooth and quiet in early tests, they faced serious problems under certain conditions. When exposed to heat or excessive brake use, they began to melt. They also distracted drivers at night, putting safety at risk. In addition, production was expensive and the tires did not adapt well to various situations. Thus, despite their visual innovation, they were never commercially released. In this 1966 photo at an equipment exhibition in London, we see a futuristic method of cooking meat. The piece was roasted on a rotating stand, surrounded by several lamps that radiated heat from different angles. However, this technology faced problems as the lamps did not generate enough heat, making the process slow and impractical. Additionally, the size of the apparatus to roast just one turkey did not justify its use at home. Here we see a piano adapted for people confined to bed in Britain in 1935. To allow bedridden patients to still play music without needing to get up, the keyboard was adjusted to be within arm's reach. This practical gadget aimed to improve the quality of life for patients and offer a form of artistic expression, even under limited conditions. In this 1950 photo, a driver shows off his new dashboard-mounted coffee maker. Created to provide convenience on long trips, the coffee maker could brew 3 cups of coffee. Additionally, according to the designer, the machine could also be used for other functions, like making soup, cooking eggs, or heating water for washing or shaving. Inventor Russell E. Oakes displays his curious automatic tip solicitor in this 1955 photo. The purpose of the invention was to facilitate the collection of tips in restaurants and other establishments. If the tip left was deemed insufficient, a no sale sign was automatically displayed, encouraging the customer to contribute more. The spaghetti spinner was created by French inventor Alain Dom in 1968. Designed to make eating pasta easier, the device automatically twirled spaghetti around the fork, eliminating the need to manually twist the pasta. The idea was to make the meal more practical, especially for those who had difficulty eating long pasta. Although ingenious, the spinner did not gain popularity, as many found the process excessive for such a simple task. In this unusual invention, a machine sold already lit cigarettes for just 1 cent. Instead of simply providing a cigarette, the machine delivered a product ready to smoke, automatically lit at the time of purchase. The goal was to speed up the process for smokers, eliminating the need for matches or lighters. This impressive 1936 machine, equipped with several wheels, was an all-terrain vehicle designed to handle extreme conditions. Developed in England, the vehicle could descend steep slopes of up to 65 degrees, something remarkable for the technology of the time. With its robust and innovative design, it was created to overcome rough terrains that conventional cars could not. Here we see a donut dipper created by amateur inventor Russell E. Oakes. The device held the donut and allowed it to be completely dipped into the coffee without the fingers touching the drink. Let's face it, this was not a problem that needed solving. In this 1925 photo, we see the Isolator, an anti-distraction helmet made of wood. Created by Hugo Gernsback, the helmet blocked out sounds and peripheral vision, allowing the user to focus solely on the work in front of them. Gernsback claimed the device reduced noise by up to 95%, while the 2 small glass holes limited vision. Since the helmet covered the entire head to reduce noise, there was an oxygen tube connected to ensure the person could breathe while using it. The Toshiba View phone allowed callers to see each other on a small video screen, paving the way for the concept of personal video conferencing. In an era when video technology was a novelty, the View phone represented a major innovation. Today, with FaceTime and other video platforms being an integral part of everyday life, it's hard to imagine a time when video chatting was something revolutionary and rare. With the Beauty Micrometer, it was possible to precisely measure facial contours, helping to identify where makeup should be applied to create a symmetrical and harmonious appearance. Introduced in 1933, the device had an intricate design featuring levers and adjustable measurement points that analyzed facial features, calculating the symmetry of the face and offering the ideal spots for makeup application. A group of people sunbathes on the beach with the help of reflectors in the Netherlands in 1961. These reflectors were created to maximize sun exposure, reflecting rays directly onto the body and ensuring a faster tan. However, what stands out more than the reflectors are the formal clothes worn by two men who are at the beach dressed in pants and dress shoes. In the 1960s, innovation brought the massage helmet, which provided relaxing scalp massages. Powered by air, it offered an automated massage that stimulated blood circulation and relieved tension. The concept has survived the test of time, and although the design has been modernized, scalp massage devices are still available today, offering a similar experience to the original version. In this 1941 photo, a model is seen in a transparent rowboat made of lucite, a type of innovative plastic for the time. The design allowed passengers to see everything below the seat, offering a clear view of what lay beneath the water's surface. Despite being attractive for exhibitions and demonstrations, the idea did not become practical due to the material's fragility and high production costs, limiting its use to special events and technology shows. A portable and extendable bridge, invented by L. Death in 1926 in the Netherlands. It was light and compact enough to be transported in a wheelbarrow and could be quickly assembled over small obstacles like rivers or ditches. Initially created for military purposes, allowing troops to move quickly without relying on conventional bridges, the bridge also proved useful in rescue operations and other civil emergencies. The companion cigarette case allowed smokers to track how many cigarettes were being used or loaned. The case had two separate buttons, one for the owner to access their cigarettes and another for when a friend asked to borrow one. This way, the smoker could keep track of how many cigarettes they consumed and how many were offered to friends. Travelers in Somerville, Massachusetts, who needed to cross rivers but wanted to avoid the hassle of ferries or rowboats, could count on a more practical solution, the on-demand water taxi. Although unusual, the water taxi promised to save time and effort, eliminating the need to worry about operating boats or long waits for ferries. In this 1921 photo, we see a baby carriage equipped with a radio, including an antenna and speaker. Created in the United States, the purpose of this invention was simple: to keep the baby quiet and entertained with music or radio programs while on a stroll. Although unusual, the concept was an attempt to make parents' lives easier by combining comfort with the then-new radio technology. The useful brush lifted the carpet, allowing dirt to be easily swept underneath. Of course, the solution did not solve the dirt problem, just hid it. Would you use it? In this photo, we see an extendable trailer built by a French engineer in 1934. The ingenious design allowed the trailer to practically double in size when parked, providing a considerably larger interior area. Although the idea was innovative and ideal for offering more comfort on long trips, the complexity of the extension mechanism and high production cost made it unfeasible. In this 1896 photo, we see an X-ray of Nikola Tesla's leg, taken by himself using a device of his own invention. Tesla also made significant advances in radiology. Just a year after the discovery of X-rays by Wilhelm Röntgen, Tesla used his own device to capture this pioneering image. The genius was one of the first to warn about the dangers of prolonged exposure to X-rays, realizing the adverse effects long before other scientists of the time. The Finnish portable sauna was introduced in 1962, allowing people to enjoy a sauna in the comfort of their own homes. The portable cabin covered the entire body, leaving only the head and hands exposed, enabling the person to relax while reading or resting. The heating was generated by a small electric system built into the sauna, which warmed the air inside the cabin to simulate the effect of a traditional sauna. The Pluto lamp, inaugurated in London in 1898, was a mixture of a gas lamp and a vending machine. It distributed items like hot water, coffee, tea, and even beef broth. The machine was installed on the streets to provide convenience to residents. However, its operation was short-lived, lasting until October of the same year, when locals discovered they could steal the products using small pieces of tin instead of coins. Invented in 1937 by hockey player Jack Milford, this unique carrier allowed him and his wife to carry their baby while skating on ice. Designed specifically for ice skating lovers, the device combined safety and mobility, ensuring that the baby could be transported stably and securely during ice activities. A student from 1913 sleeps at a desk that transforms into a hammock called the desk bed. This piece of furniture was made to save space, allowing the user to study and, with some adjustments, turn the desk into a suspended bed for resting. The idea was to help students who spent a lot of time at their desks, but also needed a place to sleep without leaving the study environment. During Winston Churchill's time, pressurization of aircraft was not yet widely adopted, representing a challenge for high-altitude flights. To ensure his safety, the Institute of Aviation Medicine developed a personalized pressurized capsule specifically designed for him. This capsule was intended to protect Churchill from the effects of low pressure and thin air during high-altitude flights. In 1949, Victor Hoflick introduced the Man from Mars radio hat in California, priced at nearly $8. The device consisted of a portable radio embedded in a futuristic helmet, capable of tuning into amplitude modulation AM stations within a radius of up to 20 miles. Although it attracted attention for its innovation and bold design, sales were not impressive. The hat's weight, limited sound quality, and eccentric style ultimately limited its commercial success. This photo shows us what butcher shops looked like during the Victorian period, around 1890, before the invention of the refrigerator. At that time, butchers hung meat in plain sight, exposed to the open air, with blocks of ice used to preserve the meat as fresh as possible. Sanitary conditions were very different from today, and keeping meat fresh was a major challenge, especially in the warmer months. A turntable coupled with a projector, an invention from 1929 that was definitely ahead of its time. This device allowed images synchronized with sound to be projected while the record played music or dialogue. This system was one of the first attempts to synchronize sound and image automatically, a revolutionary idea for the time, as talking cinema was still in its infancy. A device to aid the blind that used sound to help with navigation. Although the technical details of this specific device are limited, the concept involved emitting sounds or sound signals that allowed the user to identify obstacles or changes in the surrounding environment. In 1930, the breast washer emerged, an unusual machine designed to massage and wash women's breasts. Created to improve hygiene and promote personal care, the machine offered massage and cleaning functions, believing to benefit skin health. However, the invention was deemed uncomfortable and impractical by many women, leading to its commercial failure. In this photo, we see a rigid plastic bra created during World War II to protect female factory workers. Made entirely of durable plastic, the bra was developed as a safety measure to prevent injuries caused by workplace accidents. The piece provided an extra layer of protection for women working in industrial environments where the risk of injury was high. Model Betty Dutter demonstrates the new suntan lotion dispenser at the annual vending machine convention in Chicago, 1949. This dispenser allowed users to receive a 30-second spray of sunscreen for 1 cent. Created to make lotion application more accessible in public places, the device was a convenient solution for beach and pool goers.